Today the topic we have taken is Towards Life Beautiful. I'll read some lines of Savitri talking about that bliss which would envelop everything. A sudden bliss shall run through every limb, and nature with a mightier presence fill. A sudden bliss shall run through every limb, and nature with a mightier presence fill. Thus shall the earth open to divinity, and common natures feel the wide uplift. Illumine common acts with the Spirit's ray, and meet the deity in common things. Nature shall live to manifest secret God. The Spirit shall take up the human play. This earthly life become the life divine. The Spirit shall take up the human play. This earthly life become the life divine. And common natures feel the wide uplift. Illumine common acts with the Spirit's ray, and meet the deity in common things. Nature shall live to manifest secret God. The Spirit shall take up the human play. This earthly life become the life divine. Moving towards this life beautiful, this eternal beauty, this bliss, this joy. Sri Aurobindo saying in Savitri that it's hidden in everything. Even common, simple natures will be lifted. And our work is to find that beauty, that everlasting happiness in everything around us. He says nature will manifest what is secret. Nature will manifest the secret God. This earthly life become the life divine. This journey towards making our life beautiful, making it a beautiful flower for the divine. It is not a very far-fetched notion, a dream, a long distant realization, but we can do it like from this very minute, just by opening to everything and seeing the divine in everything. Often we are shut in our own mind, in our ego, and the prison of this ego traps us. That's why we are not able to get out and see that beauty. Recently I was reading, Sri Aurobindo says somewhere, how do you touch that psychic presence, that the divine, the whole divine which is seated in each one of us? And he is very, very small, that entire divine taking that small place in our heart, deep inside our heart, which Sri Aurobindo calls the psychic being. And our scriptures call it the Angushta Matra Purusha, which is not even the size of a thumb. It's that so tiny, but it is there. And he's saying, when our mind and ego give it room for that person, the divine inside, to express itself. So he got the mind and ego in the same sentence. So right now our mind plays a lot of games, and Sri Aurobindo is saying, yes, it's an instrument needed in our present evolution, but again it has its own limitations. It judges everything immediately and has to cut everything to bits and pieces for it to understand. So we have to silence this mind, silence the noises of the ego, so that we can see that expression of the divine, what that psychic entity in us is trying to express. I'll read like a very short letter a sadhak wrote to the mother. My sweet mother, help me get out of all stupidity, bad feelings, all sorts of ignorance. I want to love you most sincerely and grow beautiful. Make my aspiration strong, firm, and everlasting. I want to love you most sincerely and grow beautiful. Make my aspiration strong, firm, and everlasting. My sweet mother, pull me, please pull me out from all dust. Clean me thoroughly. I want to remain always with you and be like you, beautiful and sweet. Pull me out from all dust, clean me thoroughly. I want to remain always with you and be like you, beautiful and sweet. And mother replies, good. Be sincere in your aspiration and everything will be all right. Be sincere in your aspiration and everything will be all right. Blessings. Sadhak has written a very earnest, sweet letter to the mother. Like, clean me up from this stupidity, from this dust of the ego. Let me love you more sincerely. And mother says, yes, your aspiration is very beautiful. You just need to stick to that aspiration. Be sincere in your aspiration and everything will be all right. Some other place, mother says, you know, my child, I always look at the true, the beautiful, the harmony around. I always look high. My neck always looks upwards. No, I don't look at all the deficiencies, the defects, all the lower elements. So aspiration is like that. It's like that arrow going sharp up, for all the beautiful things which needs to be expressed here. Recently, I was reading a small anecdote. So Navjat ji, who's been a very instrumental person in the Sri Aurobindo Society and in also formation of Aurobindo. So once in the earlier days, he asked Mother, I have so many defects. Please identify the defects and tell me, and you change me, make me improve. Then Mother saying, my child, I am not here to see your defects. I will see your qualities. Only through your qualities I will work. I am not going to see your defects. So from this we know that we shouldn't always put ourselves down and always think about our defects. We have to focus more on the qualities which naturally came to us, which naturally the divine has given us, and work upon that and use that as a tool to walk in our life. And even she used to say, when people used to come in front of her and she would see their eyes, she'll go deep into their eyes and she would say, eyes are the windows of the soul. So she is not seeing about where you're come, what you're doing, where are you in the sadhana, whatever external things she's not seeing, but she's seeing so deep into the soul and what that soul is communicating to her. Even Mother used to see the photographs before people came into the ashram. She used to be sent photographs. Is this person, can he be part of the ashram? Something like that. So she would say, through the photograph even, she would know and she would connect to that soul, whether, in this life, should it be associated directly working in the ashram, or what is their path, she would know. And she would say that I know the past, present and future of the soul just by looking at that photograph. So Mother is just directly always connecting to our soul, to her presence inside us. And to see this beauty everywhere, Mother is saying, Joy is always there, pure, beautiful, luminous, ready to seize and envelop us if we do not shut the door of our consciousness to it. Joy is always there, pure, beautiful, and luminous, ready to seize and envelop us if we do not shut the door of our consciousness to it. So she's saying this is there, it is vibrant, it is active everywhere around us. It is we who are shutting the door of our consciousness to this beauty and joy. Even in the chaos, even in the battle, it is our duty to see that light which is coming. And I was just coming here today, I was listening to a talk, and Alok, he was saying that Sri Aurobindo wrote Savitri, gave us the Arya when the world was going through the world wars, the Second World War. And he was saying even the Battle of Kurukshetra, which was just an 18-day war, very civilized war. After evening, we don't take up our weapons, we don't kill our enemies. Such a dignified, very nice, playfully done war, you can see, in comparison to the World War, which was, every country is boiling, so many lakhs and millions of people are dying, and a lot of chaos was happening. And if you see Ravana or everybody, they are like saints in comparison to whom all we had, like Hitler and all those people. So how ruthlessly they used to be going ahead. So she would say that Sri Aurobindo came in at that time and he's writing Savitri, and the very first line, it is something like opening to the dawn. And so much of darkness is going on in the world. And it's also incidental that on 21st June, what we call as International Yoga Day today, that was the day Sri Aurobindo started writing the Arya, or just first version got published or something. So it's also significant, like yoga is not just about our physical asanas, maintaining our body and all. And we know the profundity of that word through Mother Sri Aurobindo is like uniting ourselves, mind, life, body, emotions, to the divine directly. So that day is established, he's giving to the world his writings, there's volumes of light he's just giving to the world, helping and guiding the earth. So that's what, even in the darkness, Sri Aurobindo came as this huge beam of light, and he writes that beautiful Savitri, which Savitri we know it's again Mother Sri Aurobindo's own life journey, which they've beautifully described to us. And Mother says, that is, we shouldn't shut ourselves up. In everything, we have to see the beautiful, the light, the good. Then she says, the moment we begin to think of ourselves and watch ourselves live, our joy loses its intensity. And the more we concentrate on ourselves, the joy itself gets lost. Most of the time it is about us, we being happy, we being sad, we enjoying a particular state, we liking somebody, we don't liking, we feel uncomfortable doing something, comfortable doing something. It is so focused about me, I. And where is the joy? The joy is lacking. I'm not feeling as much love to the mother as I used to feel. It is our own doings, our own, unwanted things. Like, why can't we just always freely open and just not think about just that little personal I, that little ego within us all the time? So she's saying the moment we begin to think of ourselves, we lose the joy. The more we concentrate on ourselves, the joy gets lost. So Sri Aurobindo also says somewhere, so the ideal of our life should be seeking for the true, the good, the beautiful. And even if we do feel, yes, we have gone through like so many situations in our life which is not so good, and it gave us a lot of difficulty, trauma and all that. But after crossing that, say after many years, you look back and say how much that incident has helped you, has strengthened you, has sharpened and made one particular part of you, the good. And in terms of strong, how it has helped, that very incident which you felt was so difficult at that time. Even in Savitri, when Sri Aurobindo talks about fate and the problem of pain, no, like how when Narad explains to Ashwapati and Savitri's mother, so he says, all these passing incidents, these brief grief, these brief joys, all of that, they are just passing incidents. They are not your fate. Your fate is, even these incidents leading you to the divine. Everybody's goal is to that unite your consciousness with the divine consciousness. Be blank, pure, be empty, be transparent, and allow her, like it is no longer this instrument, it is the mother's force, the mother's light, mother's channeling everything, guiding, moving, talking through us, doing everything. So that should be like the ultimate goal of everybody. Then mother gives us like a few tools. How do we create this beautiful, happy, harmonious atmosphere around us? So she talks about herself, what all she used to do, when she was young. And she says, one thing she used to do is telling stories to oneself. And she's saying it is not merely telling with words in one's head. Actually, you should be in this visualization or imagination, maybe in your meditation. Even Mother has many places suggested how do you connect to your deeper self. So many beautiful instances, how to meditate she has suggested. So she would say, try to go deep, 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 and you will find a wall. And your aspiration, your love, that determination should be so strong, and through that meditation you are piercing the wall, and then like after a point it tends to break open. All that crust which you have built up around the soul, it tends to break, and you are like in that beautiful space, in that light. So she's saying, tell yourself, like have these beautiful visualizations and make these beautiful narratives, beautiful stories. Let it be powerful, well coordinated, and don't think that I'm just doing to make myself feel good or something, but rather you should believe that yes, whatever I'm imagining, visualizing, it's all beautiful and it will happen. It may not happen the exact way, exact colors, exact people, whatever you're imagining. It will take its own form and shape, but it will definitely happen like that. So she's saying that's what she used to do. And in one place she also says, once maybe she was young, maybe less than 10 years also, her father used to take her to circus a lot. He himself was a very strong man and he used to handle horses and everything, and he had a fancy of going to circus, and he used to call Mother to go with him. And Mother would say, like a small girl, like it's very natural. So your parent is saying, come, let's go to the circus. You'll find such beautiful things there, acrobats, animals, all that. Being a small child, it's very curiosity that anybody would go. But Mother would say, I'm doing something more interesting. Sorry, you carry on, I'm not coming. So she's doing all this. Like she is also the world mother. Like more she imagines in some other world that's getting created also. So even when she was a 5-year-old child, she used to have one particular place. She'd sit in that chair. Many of you would be knowing. And she'll go in some deep thought, deep contemplation. Then her physical mother would ask her, why are you doing this? Like as though the whole world's burden is on your head, is on your shoulders. And Mother would say, yes, it is actually, I'm feeling that it is on my shoulders. And her mother would be like, I've given up on you. I don't know, being so young, what imaginary things you keep talking, or something to that extent. Just now I heard this also, like Mother was so sensitive to falsehood. Once her brother was just 1.5 years younger to her. So their parents had gone out, and there was something in the top shelf of the cupboard, and this brother wanted to take that particular thing. and it was not allowed for him. He New parents have gone, but they are not there to watch me, so let me do it. And he said, ask the mother's help, can you put this tool, can you hold it, I'm going to reach out to that thing. And he got it. Then he says, don't mention this to our parents. That moment, mother was barely 8 9 or something. So she got that cringing sensation in her body. That is falsehood, hiding something, as silly as that. And now think of this incident, and I was listening to it like, how many times, and even now, many instances, you don't want to be such an open book, or like to make some situations harmonious, you pull out something, you hide few things, you don't want to tell everything to everybody. So mother could from the small incident pick out that how falsehood starts. So that's how she says, yeah, create these beautiful stories, when you're feeling low, feeling trapped, you think nothing is going your way, but there are parts in you which is still reaching out to the light. Sri Aurobindo says beautifully in Savitri, I don't recall the exact line now. Still there are parts which reaches to the light. You think you are in the lowest subconscious, lowest regions. Still there are parts which reaches out to the light. And mother says over here, above all complication of so-called human wisdom, there's a luminous simplicity of the divine grace, ready to act if we allow it to act. Above all the complication of so-called human wisdom, there is a luminous simplicity of the divine grace, ready to act if we allow it to act. I was listening to one talk of one sadhak. Actually, there are these series of interviews which Narad ji, his name is also Richard. I can maybe share it in our group. Over like 11, 12 years, he's been interviewing ashramites, sadhaks, devotees, like would have covered so many people. And just 2 days back, he uploaded one interview. So this person, he talks so beautifully with lot of simplicity about divine grace acting in his life. And for many of us, like we are so connected to the form of the mother, right? And he was saying, in so many occasions, like small little incidents he was saying, and once he actually challenged the mother. He said he was actually staying in Chennai and he had come briefly to Pondicherry and he was about to take the bus to Chennai. Then he was like, mother, you keep saying grace is everywhere. I don't so feel it in my life. So you do something. Now I'm going to be silent. I'm not going to act. Only when the grace tells me I'm going to act. I want to see if there's really a grace. So he did take that bus and he goes into a lot of details and everything. And usually that particular day or whatever the weekend, it gets extremely crowded. So he just mechanically got in and correctly 2 people got off and he sat. Then he's like, now you told me, this is one grace. And within 5 minutes, the conductor says, this journey is free for all of you. There's some reason the person who used to drive the same bus earlier passed away and the family was basically wanting the whole bus to have a free ride that day. So like for these things may be very silly and coincidental and all, but so beautifully this guy was accepting everything as grace. And also he was recollecting something else. So once he went for some interview and they gave him some test and they said, go sit in that cubicle and write. And he took that paper and he was writing. In front of him, he sees Mother Sri Aurobindo's pictures and a very beautiful quote of Mother. My love is always with you, my child, or something like that. So somebody, so open, so childish, so devoted, and the mother knows that, yes, you are, you will feel happy, satisfied, comforted only if you see my image. And she'll come, she arranges, she does it like that. So yeah, it's so beautiful. So just allow the grace to act. And she's saying, It is the grace does not withdraw, my child. It is you who withdraw from the grace, she's told in some occasion. So we have to also try to be in that state of gratitude, no? Like she's led us this far, why have doubt? Why have moments of faith coming low or anything like that? And the divine knows best. Like she's that potter, she's making her hands dirty and and we are letting out our anger, restlessness, worry, everything, and it is coming to her. The mother is also getting stained by that. So it's better that we try to purify or allow her to purify. We also read somewhere in the beginning, right? This girl asks, clean me, purify me from the stupidity and all that. So once I was going through one kind of meditation, it was very interesting. So this person said, you have gone out and you have taken a lot of things on yourself, lot of formations, everything, and you yourself have a lot of baggage of something or the other. Just like mother's telling us now, like these visualizations, imaginations. So if you can just go through, like scan your body head to toe and feel like literally mother cleanse me, scrub me, like feel that mother thoroughly cleaning with a lot of love and tenderness and sweetness. She's doing that for us. And next she tells, like how to be happy, how to see that beautiful life around us. So she says, organize yourself. It's like all parts of our being, one is saying something, one is like purely devoted, like wants to do everything as an offering. But there are other parts, like something interesting is coming on TV today, that it wants to go there. Cricket match is going. Even there, yes, watching something, you can also offer that. Even through those things also, there is some lesson you're getting. The divine is telling you something. If you see the ashram, everything is there. Nothing is shut out. We have cinemas in the ashram. Every Saturday, all the children, all the ashramites see these movies. In one case, mother said, when you're actually concentrating and seeing the movie, my child, that's when I'm allowed to come in and act, because your mind is like focused on something else. You're not so distracted or restless or something. So I take that opportunity, sneak in, and I work in you. And also see the love of the mother when this music, art, and say the movies were not yet there. So many of our ashramites, any interesting movie, they would want to go to one of the local theaters. So mother got to know that some of them are going. So she would be like, oh, the energy, the atmosphere, the vibrations of the people, I don't want my children to be there. So she set up this. And also, they don't show every other movie. Such beautiful, true stories of war, even mother used to sit alongside the children and watch these movies. So stories of a lot of saints and adventure, and a lot of different kind of movies were getting shown and still getting shown. Yeah, so she says, we are like a mumbo jumbo of too many things. We don't know. One of the part always is stronger than the other part. Nothing is moving so harmoniously. So now also she's giving us an exercise. She's saying, project yourself on the screen. Observe and see all that is moving there, how it moves and what happens. Project yourself, your mind, your emotions, the body, at any situation. What is happening? What are the thoughts? How are you feeling? In the body, is there any reaction? Just like put it down like a flow chart around you. When you do this, you're trying to see the situation more clearly. You can take a better decision. You organize, arrange. You organize and arrange in such a way that you begin to have a straight movement with an inner meaning. And you keep doing this for different situations. Whenever you're feeling confused, you don't know what direction to take. And she's saying you do this with the same freshness and sincerity. So one method she's saying like that. Then she says, be very clear, what is your goal, when what is that one remedy, is that divine healer that you want to be with. And I'm just going to read like a couple of paragraphs. So this is from a very beautiful interview with Surendranath Jauharji. So he is the person who set up the Delhi ashram, many of you would know, and there's a very beautiful interview. It is also available on YouTube, and the interview is called A New Birth. So this is captured like Surendranath Jauharji and mother's conversation. It is extremely beautiful. All of you must hear it. This is just some small extract of that which I'll read. So this method, like we're talking about different methods, right? One is like tell yourself stories, one is organize yourself, and next one we are moving to find out what is that only remedy, that only solace. So she says, you see, in the present condition of the world, circumstances are always difficult. The whole world is in a condition of strife, conflict between the forces of truth and light wanting to manifest, and the opposition of all that does not want to change. What represents in the past, what is fixed, hardened, and refuses to go. On one hand, there's this forces of truth and light which wants to manifest, and another, it's the opposing forces. What is already stabilized in the past is fixed, it's hardened, and it refuses to go. There is only one way for you. It is a total, complete, and unconditional surrender. What I mean by that is the giving up not only of your actions, work, ambitions, but also of all your feelings, in the sense that all you do, all you are, is exclusively for the divine. Not only your actions, work, ambitions, but also all your feelings, all your reactions, all you do, all that you are is exclusively for the divine. So you feel above the surrounding human reactions. So you feel above the surrounding human reactions, not only above them but protected from them by the wall of the divine's grace. When you offer yourself completely, not only the work, action, ambitions, but your feelings, what you are, your thoughts, exclusively for the divine, you are above that situation, above the ordinary human reactions, and you are protected by this wall of the divine's grace. Wall of the divine's grace. Once you have no more desires, no more attachments, once you have given up all necessity of receiving a reward from human beings, whoever they are, knowing that the only reward that is worth getting is the one that comes from the Supreme, and that never fails. Once you give up the attachment to all exterior beings and things, you at once feel in your heart this presence, this force, this grace that is always with you. Once you give up the attachment to all exterior beings and things, you at once feel in your heart this presence, this force, this grace that is always with you. So beautifully she says that only one remedy is to be only for the divine, be exclusively for the divine. Remove these layers of attachment, possessiveness, all that which is creating that distance between you and the divine. When you are in that state, complete surrender, this presence, this force, this grace is always with you. Even otherwise, when you are in that desirous state of desire and attachment, even that grace is still there, but you are not recognizing it openly. It is always working. Then Surendranath ji is asking, but where to get such a strength? Within you. The divine presence is in you. It is in you. You look for it outside, look inside. It is in you. The presence is there. Then where to get such a strength? Within you. Short, sweet answer. Within you. The divine presence is in you. It is in you. You look for it outside, look inside. It is in you. The presence is there. Even when Draupadi was calling Krishna, somewhere it is recorded, she was calling, "Oh Krishna, Lord of all the universes, Lord of all creation, come, come, come." And she didn't get the response immediately. But when she said, "Dearest Krishna, sweet Krishna, the one who's sitting in the lotus of my heart, would you not come and save me? Would you not rescue me?" Then immediately he came. So he's there, so deep, the divine presence, just there, always watching, helping, guiding. Next point, Mother is saying, connected to this, so find out that only remedy. Why are you here? And give everything to that presence inside you. Then again, she's insisting on emphasizing here. Find out the true purpose of life. What is the reason of this existence and living? The justification of earthly existence is that one is on earth to realize the divine. The secret is to emerge from the ego, get out of its prison, unite ourselves with the divine, merge into Him, not to allow anything to separate us from Him. So like she told, there's always some weight we are carrying from the past, some things which don't want to change, that inertia, heaviness, laziness, hostility. So the human nature is always fighting against this. There used to be this sadhak in the ashram, his name was Ajarva, I think he was from England. He was settled in ashram for a long time. He used to write beautiful poetry. So one of his friends from England happened to be in Pondicherry, and he met him. He's like, "What kind of yoga is going here? I see your life, you're doing everything what everybody else would also do. Life is simple, straightforward, And he's saying, you don't know the war which is waging in us every time, the battle with that ego. You think, from outside ashram life seems so routine, simple, every day seems to be the same and all that. But you don't know, as children of Mother Sri Aurobindo, how much we are fighting with that ego moment to moment, and allowing that truth to take over that ego. And Mother also says that that finding the true purpose is so important. Like, you see, generally the world around, 80-90% of the people, basically they're just chasing after wealth, ambitions, position, materialistic things and all that. So she's actually directly telling this. So while you are young, you accumulate wealth, honor, position, be provident, have a little foresight, put something up, lay up a capital, become an official, so that later when you're 40, you can sit down, enjoy your income, and later your pension. And as they say, enjoy a well-earned rest. So the typical thing is, work it out, earn that money, then after, she says 40 over here, then you relax, sit on that money, feel that, I don't have much to do now. But she's like, we shouldn't be stuck in this attitude. It's not that we have to find the divine only after we are cross 50 or something like that. No, it is good when you find Him earlier, allow Him to act in our lives and collaborate with Him. So that is this is not the purpose of life. You have to moment to moment No, give that life for that higher goal that we are here for. To sit down, stop on the way, not move forward, to go to sleep, it is to go downhill before it's one's time. You cease to live your purpose. Then she says, when Nalanida turned 80, so some of the friends of Nalanida, they approached mother and said, he's turning 80, we should do a grand celebration for him. And then mother said, I don't want to remind him of his age. Here, age doesn't count really. It is how much you are young at heart, eternally young at heart, and don't want to make a big tamasha out of it and remind him of his age. And there was some joke around it saying, okay, if he's 80, so we would consider him to be like 0 years. If he's 81, he's 1 year. He's 82 2-year old, something like that. So, and we also know, like, yes, we know she's the Divine Mother, Adya Shakti, she's a representative, and she's come to us on the soil. But when Aurobindo was created, if you really see in a very human language, Mother was probably 90 years old. So who would want to build a city of dawn? Who would ever think in a normal life to do that? So age is merely a number. Sorry. And she says, nothing is more dangerous than wanting to rest. It is in action, in effort, in the march forward that repose must be found. The true purpose of complete trust in the divine grace, of the absence of desires, of victory over egoism. Nothing is more dangerous than wanting to rest. Here she's talking in a very broad context. So she was saying, right, I've acquired so much money, I've got this position, now my life is just rest and use this money and, travel or whatnot. But so she's saying you shouldn't be wanting to rest. Always you have something to give to the divine. Or, through this body you can do so many things. And if you see in Aurobindo, the people, say who are probably 80, 90 years, so when they used to come in caravans from different parts of the world, and they converted the desert into what we now call Aurobindo, right? So many forests, like, lot of vegetation, growth, beautiful it is. So even now, like, Aurobindo is a place of karma, yoga through works. So people are in whatever age, they are just continuously working, giving body, blood, sweat, and just working. And then she says, true repose comes from the widening universalization of consciousness. Become as vast as the world and you'll always be at rest. Become as vast as the world and you will always be at rest. In the thick of action, in the very midst of the battle, the effort, you will know the repose of infinity and eternity. You will know this repose of infinity and eternity. Aurobindo somewhere says you must have that patience because we are children of eternity. We are children of, there's no time. We come and go and we keep doing mother's work. And also having this patience at the same time, working in time to achieve that perfection. He tells both somewhere in Synthesis of Yoga in the same sentence. The thirst for progress, the thirst for knowledge, the thirst for transformation, above all the thirst for love and truth. If one keeps that, one goes quicker. The thirst for progress, the thirst for knowledge, the thirst for transformation, and above all the thirst for love and truth. If one keeps that, one goes quicker. And yesterday I was reading something. There's this person of, I think, 70 years or something. He cleared his CA exam. He was teaching his granddaughter, and he got very interested. Like, let me also give it a shot, and he cleared. So like mother is saying, if you widen your consciousness, if you say that, oh, I'm already 70, I'm done with life now, I'll not do much. No, it's not like that. The road is there, broad in front of you. You can choose it, do whatever you feel like. And when she talks about this thirst for progress, thirst for knowledge, I was reminded of one incident. I think Sri Ramakrishna, I don't know if he was directly involved in this incident, but maybe he takes one sadhak, wanting to take refuge in him. He comes and it's like, I want to see how strongly you want the divine. So he goes to the bank, Ganga's bank, and he goes along with him and suddenly puts his head down just in water without him, giving him any notice or anything. He just dunks him inside. And he's gasping. He didn't expect this. Then he gets him out and he says, do you want the divine like how you wanted the next breath? Do you want the divine like that? Your life should be like that. To want the divine, the thirst for the divine to be like that. I think when the Bible said, and Sri Aurobindo also has quoted in Synthesis of Yoga, the zeal of the Lord, some enthusiasm and just the zeal of the Lord, like that enjoying the divine, that should be there. I'm not getting the exact phrase. So he I think describe enthusiasm like that, wanting the Lord to live like that, the zeal for the divine. Then one more point, mother says, like, towards harmonious collectivity. This should also be our aim, like not only our individual progress, but improving the collectivity in general. So no matter what one wants to realize, one must begin by establishing this perfect and immutable peace. This is the basis from which one must work. When an entire part of humanity, the one which is open consciously or unconsciously to the new forces, is lifted up, as it were, into a higher, more harmonious, more perfect life, even if individual transformation is not always permissible or possible, there will be a kind of general uplifting, a harmonization of the whole, which will make it possible for a new order, a new harmony to be established. So even if there is small collectivity of humans, when they are open, she's saying consciously or unconsciously. We can say, everybody connected to Archana, everybody connected to Aurobindo. Somehow we are open to this new consciousness. We know something Mother and Sri Aurobindo has told about the new world, the Superman, the next being in evolution, everything. But she's saying this force may not tell in so many words. There'll be other people unconsciously opening to the force. We connect to them because directly we are like their children and we know what their teachings are. But many people may not know Mother and Sri Aurobindo what they are, but they just can feel the energy, the force of the new consciousness. And even now, if you see like how many groups of such kind are also emerging, right? Like maybe also because the world is connected so well, world is so flat, and people of similar liking, similar aspirations are getting together, and so many spiritual communities are getting formed. And she's saying, if this one group, it can bring about a great upliftment, harmonization of the whole. So Mother clearly said there wouldn't be a World War III because Aurobindo was formed, because it's a city formed on human unity. The main aim of Aurobindo is human unity. That's why it is very symbolic that people of different cultures, nations, every part of the world is getting represented for them to work out the challenges in a very, very deeper level. Yes, now we would see like few wars and all. And again, it is the battle of truth and falsehood which is going on. But she's clearly told there will not be a World War III, and she's already worked it out in the occult level. And in our very physical level, we have something like Aurobindo, and it cannot happen. So there's such a power this thing has. Small community with having, such a big impact on world events. Then mother says how to move towards that beautiful life. So she's saying that collective, the unity, all that she's told. Now she's like, in our relationships, be it like relationships in our family, in our work, even she talks about relationship with gods, how to bring that beauty, that harmony. So she's saying, when we become one with the inner Godhead, we become one in depth with all. And it is through her and by her that we must come into contact with all beings. When we become one with the inner Godhead, so we immediately become one with all. It is through her and by her we must come in contact with all beings. So somebody asked the mother, I'm not able to get along with so and so person. So mother says, bring me in front of you and that person. Now you're not dealing with the person based on his ego, his limitation, the things that you like or dislike about him. But you are building this beautiful connection, and mother is that connection. Mother is the river between you and him, and whatever is flowing is the river of the mother. So it's so beautiful. It's beautiful to read and imagine a wonderful world of harmonious people around you. But how can we really practice it? Like simple in our family relationships. Maybe the moments when we are getting angry, if we can think that mother is between, your communication is going through the mother. If mother were in front of you, would you just criticize or make random things from your mouth come out? Mother is in front of you, and through that, that conversation is going to the other person, is going the mother as a via media to the next person, like that. So it's very simple. When you first of all found that inner Godhead, everything around you is the divine, and all the contacts and dealing should happen through her. And somewhere in the Upanishad, one of the Upanishads, Sri Aurobindo has commented it, and he said, you don't love your wife for the sake of your wife. You don't love your country for the sake of your country. You don't love your child for the sake of your child, but for the God in them, for the divine, just for the divine. In so many forms that you're loving the divine, you're getting more closer to him. And mother talks about her relationship with gods also, and she says in our evolution, it is these gods, the forces of the supreme, each of them owning up one particular action. So we have to see them as they are also growing with us, like brothers and sisters, that we are holding their hand, and the divine universal Adya Shakti, Mahashakti, she's carrying the gods, the lesser gods, everybody together in her consciousness. And we know her relationship with Krishna, right? So she used to walk with Krishna, and there are so beautifully mother has told us that there are occasions that he would just put his head on mother's shoulder. And once mother got so used to this, and Sri Aurobindo noticed, and he said, and the next day, I think Sri Aurobindo came, or he stopped Krishna from coming or something like that. And whenever there used to be meditations in the meditation room in ashram, so these Trimurtis, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Mahesh, used to sit in the ledge of that meditation. They are there because that vibrance of the presence, the divine mother is there, everything that she has created, all these forces which are also small parts of her are also there. And she talks about her relationship with Durga, and how she told, do you like all these people, worshipping you or something? Why don't you surrender yourself to the divine? Then you will be even more aggrandized, and you will be more widened in your consciousness, and the people are connecting to me rather true ones, the small consciousness that you're holding. And Durga willingly accepted to surrender to the mother. And one more joking incident. So once Panditji, many of you would know, right? MP Panditji. So some astrologer, saw his hand and said, "You will be ruled by a woman. It is very clear." So he was talking, and he said, "Yes, it's so natural. I'm ruled by the Divine Mother herself. In every aspect, she's there." So again, Mother keeps emphasizing like the true goal, the one remedy. And again, she says the true need. If you turn to the divine and have full trust and ask Him, you will get what you need, not necessarily what you imagine you need. If you turn to the divine with full trust and ask Him, you will get what you need, but not necessarily what you imagine you need. But the true thing you need, you will get it. But you must ask Him for it. You simply have an aspiration within you, an urge, an intense, ardent need to find that which you conceive more or less clearly to be the truth of your being, the source of all things, the supreme good, the answer to all we desire, the solution to all problems. If there is this intense need in you and you aspire to realize it, you won't any longer say to the divine, "Give me this, give me that," or "I need this, I must have this." You will tell Him, "Do what is necessary for me and lead me to the truth of my being. Do what is necessary for me and lead me to the truth of my being. Give me what Thou in Thy supreme wisdom seest as the thing I need. Give me what Thou in Thy supreme wisdom seest as the thing I need." So beautiful. The true need. Don't go after all the small needs. But yes, she is going to look after that also. But once you ask for the true need, all the other needs also is getting taken care of by her. I've told this, I think, previously also. So in ashram dining hall, for a long time, they had this enamel plates. And somebody said, "Mother, let's change these plates." And she's like, "Yeah, let's change it. But my child, I want all my children to have in gold plates." That's what she said. Yeah, it's like the children of Mother's consciousness. Even materially, she wanted to give that. Even now when people see Matra Mandir and they would be like, "Oh, is it real gold?" If Matra Mandir is the mother's mandir, Matra Mandir. And what's the highest metal or what we can conceive of on earth and what can be offered to her? That is obviously the gold. They say, why you have to raise so much funds, why we have to struggle, and why it took so many years for it to get constructed. So, and Aurobindo also told very beautifully about gold also. So, like, that's the highest, the most beautiful, like the richest. And how in all our temples also we adorn him with all the jewelry, the gold in Tirupati and this Ram in Ayodhya, everywhere, right? Yeah, even the very metal, it needs to go in that proper spot. They'd say, right? Some kind of idiom is there. If you give like a mala to a monkey, it will not know what to do with it. It will just tear it open. So this highest thing has to be given for the divine himself alone. So she looks after everything, our material needs, everything. I'm reminded of one more thing which Alokda long back told. When he lost his real mother, that time he was working in Bangalore ashram or somewhere. He got the call that his mother is no more. And he goes immediately to the relics and prays for her soul. And he heard a very clear voice. Now I am your physical mother too. Like yes, I am the divine mother, I am everything. But I know my child is losing, feeling that grief and everything. And now I am your physical mother too. So, mother will look after every need, and if we simply say to her that I need you, every other small need is also taken care of. Just read 4 lines of Savitri and we'll end. So, why Mother and Sri Aurobindo? They're describing themselves in these lines. What are they here for? What are they doing for the earth? My soul and his indissolubly linked in the one task for which our lives were born, to raise the world to God in deathless light, to raise the world to God in deathless light, to bring God down to the world on earth we came, to bring God down to the world on earth we came, to change the earthly life to life divine, to change the earthly life to life divine. I keep my will to save the world and man. I keep my will to save the world and man, to change the earthly life to life divine. I keep my will to save the world and man. That mother is saying she's keeping her will, imagine the divine's will to save the world and man, to change this earthly life to life divine.